Okay. I mean, I believe we're live. I'm not sure if we are or not, but I also don't care. So, today we are just doing a little small broadcast here. Y'all see I got the new little overlay. I got the new little clouds with the moon. Um, and I don't even have a clue of what I want to talk about, but I do have COVID-19, so that's why I'm wearing my mask. I don't want to get y'all sick. No, I'm joking. I'm joking. Not about having COVID. I do have COVID actually. Here's the confirmation of that. You can see it right there. It says positive. So yeah, I do have COVID, but I'm wearing the mask for protection of my wonderful girlfriend, so that when I sneeze, cough, the droplets aren't spreading around in the air. And I am isolating away from her as much as I can. So we're just about to do a little bit of talking. Gonna do a little bit of conversation. And in the background, I'm about to be playing this stupid freaking game called what is it called? Oh yeah, Free Rider. So yeah, we can have a little bit of conversation while I play Free Rider, and I think the topic of today is just going to be about recent events. Most recently, my guy Andrew Tate, the top G. I don't even know if I'm allowed to talk about him on Twitch, but I'm gonna talk about him anyway. Um, Most recently, he got into God damn it, I just died. That's crazy. But most recently, he jumped onto Pierce Morgan's channel, um, and they had a little bit of conversation. I guess you would want to call it about Jesus Christ. They had a little bit of conversation about the state of London and also um, how crazy Andrew Tate's views are. Let me just take a little break from that because I just died like 7 times in like 5 seconds. But yeah, that little bit of conversation about the whole situation with London, with the UK, and how Andrew Tate has moved over to the UAE, United Arab Emirates, and how he believes that the current state of affairs over there, they were prepared for what is happening to the Western world. Now, I really want to get everybody's takes, and by everybody I mean all zero of you in my chat right now. I want to get y'all takes on exactly what it is that is wrong with America. Like, what do y'all think we would need to do to make this place better? Like, I feel like we've gotten to almost an irredeemable point where it's like we are, we have been looking for reasons to fight and to argue, looking for reasons to find differences in the name of, equality and diversity. Like, it really doesn't make any sense that we're now pinpointing things that make us different and using that as like a bragging point of why our country is better is because we have so many differences. It's like is nobody realizing that differences are what are splitting us apart. We have to find what are similar. We have to find the things that we share, the values that we share, the cultural similarities. Instead of embracing all of these differences and splitting apart, why are we not looking for similarities? And I think that's why countries like the UAE and countries like um, well, I have to admit it, it would be Islamic countries why they're so united in a way. Obviously, there are wars, there's violence still, there's government corruption, but the people are united in a sense that they all unite underneath one thing, and that is Allah, and they all unite together underneath the ideology that no matter what, that will win. And at one point in American history, we had that. At one point in American history, there was a common ground that we all stood for. But I think nowadays we've even lost that. Like people won't even fight for America to remain America anymore. It's like if we were to be invaded, would everybody actually stand up and defend this place? And I genuinely don't think that they would anymore. It's like people would rather see America crash and burn, and it happened internally. Like why I don't see how that happened. I don't see how people allowed it to happen. But I understand why people get mad. Like I'm not gonna be upset. I'm not gonna be stupid. and be like, oh, no one has a justified reason to hate America. Like, America's tough. You know what I mean? Jesus Christ. America's hard to really navigate because there are so many different people. It's like no one looks. I'm going to kill myself. no one, no one looks the same. No one, like, obviously there are groups of people, but like there's so many differences in this country that when you do find yourself in a spot, when you do find yourself in a spot where it's like you have your own people, and you kind of embrace it, you kind of collect together, and you're very quick to shun others, you're very quick to push the others aside, but at the same time it's like there's certain things that are only possible here, and I feel like that's what we should all converge on. That's what we should all embrace together, is that like there are only things that we do, and that's what makes us American. That's what makes us a nation together. Not That's what makes us black people, or that's what makes us white people. That's what makes us the Jews. That's not that, like, you know what I mean? It's what makes us American is the fact that we can have so many differences, but we all unite for a single purpose. Because if we can't unite for a single purpose, those countries that can unite for a single purpose, trust me, they're going to stomp on us. We have to be ready for the smoke. Like, I already know as a male in America, if it came down to it and they started drafting, I'm ready. With COVID, I'm ripping the mask off and I'm running the war, because that's what it is. It's, you got to fight for the right for your nation to continue. And we've grown so fast, we've gotten so big that other nations are now looking at us like, yeah, you about to catch this work. And when they start trying to give us the work, which they've already started doing, like, trust me, Russia's coming because they've seen what we're on. China's coming because they've seen what we're on. All these small nations that we are ignoring, they're coming because they see what we're on. Trust me. Trust me. Like, they are plotting, especially China. They're plotting. They are plotting. And we don't even have to guess about that, bro. They have a 2050 plan. You understand how many years ahead that is? They are planning for 25 plus years from now. They're like, watch, because they already see the point that we're at now. They're like, oh, we were able to infiltrate them with TikTok and get their people to just be brain dead, just all day. So 20 more years of that, they'll be so brain dead that we could probably convince them to hate their own house, to hate their own land, to burn down their own capitals and do all this extra shit. Like, trust me, they're gonna be infiltrating our leaders. They're gonna infiltrate our infrastructure. They're gonna infiltrate our technology, and they're gonna infiltrate our, like, basic everyday way of living. And they're gonna do that with the help of all these other nations that we've made our enemies. If we want to maintain top dog, if we want to be big dog, we gonna have to want the smoke. We gonna have to be about that life. Trust me, we're gonna have to be about that life. And I just don't feel like right now we're about that life. It's a lot of soy boys running around. I'm not gonna act like I'm some huge macho, whatever, whatever. You feel me? I'm skinny, I'm lanky, yeah, but you got to it's about the mentality. You gotta be ready to do whatever your country needs you to do, to put in that work to fight for your country. You feel me? Like, it just is what it is, and I don't feel like a lot of people are ready for that, man. I really don't. I really feel like at the end of the day, there are a lot of people right now who would rather bash America than fight for it, which is crazy to me. Because it's like, what are you gonna, what are you gonna do? This is the first time I made it past that clip. That's crazy. What are you gonna do once it's actual wartime? Like, I feel like people don't really see the progression of, like, how history repeats itself. You think about it, right? Think about in the 1930s, right? It was, and I'm talking about right around like World War One, World War Two, end of World War One, beginning of World War Two, right? 1930s to 1940s. It was, countries were tumultuous. Countries were fighting each other, and it all began not by just immediately going, oh, we're just gonna go blasting at people. No, it started with people withholding information and withholding supplies from each other, right? Withholding oil, withholding different levels of security, embargoes, and then once it gets to a point where people can no longer survive in a normal manner or survive at all, you have to resort to the only thing that solves problems, which is violence. Nowadays, look what we're doing, right? We're blocking Russia from even having its claim that it had to Ukraine. despite the fact that that's our ally, right? We're doing that. We're blocking China from being able to import their chips, and then we're threatening to tariff and tax them even more. We're doing all these things to all these different nations. We're going to other countries and saying, give me your oil, and if you don't, we're going to blow your shit down. And then once we get the oil from them or get whatever we need from them, we promise them military support, but then we're like, nah, we're going to take it back whenever we want to. And we pull military support, right? So we do all of these different things, and countries are looking at us like, okay, so you have no loyalty, no respect for culture, and you're running the world as you please. What happens is, like it happened in 1940s, someone gets courageous enough, or someone who's a nice, smooth talker is a smooth enough talker to talk their country into rallying together against one common enemy. And when we are that one common enemy, that's when it becomes a problem. Because luckily enough for the world in World War II, the world was the one common enemy. And so when Germany started its invasion, they did it on the world. And obviously they had a target population that they sought out as the actual problem, and we all saw the results of that. And I don't even have to touch on it because I know it's a touchy subject and this is Twitch, but we all saw the results of that coming to fruition. Is that 6 million people of one specific culture was exterminated. Now imagine if that culture just became Americans rather than what it actually was. Imagine how many Americans could be slaughtered because we are not taking the necessary precautions to make sure that we're being careful as we are the world leaders, as we maintain this dominant position that we currently have over the world. I feel like not only do we have to start treating other nations and cultures with kindness and respect, allowing them to be what they are, where they are, we not only do we have to do that, but we also have to be more cautious about the things that we act like we can just do and get away with. Like, it really is a problem. And I know this is kind of like an all over the place discussion, but I do believe that it also follows some rhyme or rhythm. Um, just to sort of see back, we did start talking about America. We started talking about what it means to be American, and then we also talked about the amount of divisions that exist within America and how we have sort of lost track of what it means to be an American, what it means to unite as a single nation. We then developed that argument into exactly how we treat the rest of the world in the positions that we are, and how we've, gathered some enemies as a result of our position as the number one nation when we were. I do believe that we still are, but I think we're losing that at a very fast pace, and I do think China can overtake us. And unfortunately for us, we have made a lot of enemies. And that led to the final argument, which I just made, is that when you've made so many enemies and someone gets courageous enough to talk their people into attacking a one singular common enemy, and America becomes that singular common enemy, then we can lead to a repeated history effect where things like World War II do pop back off, but this time we're in place of the Jewish community and we are the targets of, extermination. And this time it could be that there are more enemies than allies, and that's the real fear, is that our biggest allies, we've started to make enemies as well. Russia's, they're our allies by treaty, but we're starting to sort of creep into their territory and sort of piss them off a little bit. And China, they don't have any real reasons to be our friends, and they even have an already established plan to be the world's powerhouse within the next 25 or so years. So I believe that things are going to be tough when I'm 50, and unfortunately I won't be able to fight at that time. So it's going to be about really imparting this message onto my beautiful generation, Generation Z, is we can't take this soy boy approach, this soft feminist approach to restructuring America. We can't keep pushing these messages and ignoring the actual reality of things, such as pushing these messages that it's okay to, just sort of divulge into your feelings and not really accept social structures as real because they are a construct of our mind and a construct of patriarchy and all that bullshit that is pushed nowadays. We cannot keep doing that because it will almost guaranteed lead to, in 20 or 25 years, either an extermination or a domination of American culture by another culture, and it's not going to be a culture we like. Um, it's kind of like a pendulum effect. Yeah, we came in, we made our effect, and we swing so far this way, and now the world is going to force us to go right back. And I want to say if we want to avoid that, but I don't believe we can avoid it. It's sort of like the neutrality, the balance that comes with being a part of this planet. It's when you have so much of one thing, you must have its opposite at some point, and I believe it's coming. I believe 20 or 25 more years from now, maybe even less, we're going to have a very hard time because it's been so easy. It's been so easy for quite some time now. I want to say for like the past 2 decades, it's been so easy for us to just pretend that the world is difficult while we're living the easiest life of all human existence. And so I believe we're gonna be experiencing some real difficulty really soon. And I really need my next generation to be prepared for it. Um, hey, and that's myself included. Like I feel like at some point, not that I would want to, but I might have to, join the military. I might have to um, do something that's gonna harden me against some of the things that I've gotten like too used to, or that's going to make me not focus too much on soft, delicate things, and not saying I'm just gonna give up on family life and live in the woods and get ready for the next war. But I also feel like there are certain things that exist within our current culture that I need to beat out of my brain because I mean I haven't accepted any false, narrative. I would say that the world is all soft and peaches and cream and that everything's gonna be okay. But at the same time, like I've gotten very comfortable with a lot of the things that America has afforded me. And I do acknowledge that at some point we're gonna have to fight. We're gonna have to fight for what we have here. We already have had to before. I mean, we've had wars in America before, obviously, but at some point we're gonna have to fight another nation, and next time it might be on American soil. I feel like that's what we haven't had is a fight on American soil for America. Maybe that's what's gonna be the uniting factor for us is that there's going to be a fight on American soil by a different nation where they finally do something that no other nation has been able to do, and they infiltrate our coast guard and they're on our mainland and we lose some states, we lose some towns, we lose some provinces or whatever it may be, and then you feel me, the bounce back effect is that we all sort of embrace each other a little bit more, we all sort of accept each other a little bit more because now we've experienced a real foreign threat, and from that blossoms a new era of American like acceptance where people don't really judge each other anymore based off of what they say or how they feel about a specific issue, despite whether or not they're on the same side. Like the new era of Americanism would be, are you American? All right, cool. I don't give a damn what you believe. I don't care what color your skin are. If you're American, I'm glad you're here, and I love you, and thank you for protecting the nation with me, because that's what it was like following the wars, and then we lose that, and all it takes is a couple of decades, and that's the sad part is that it only takes 10, 20 years for people to really lose that sense of love that they have for their fellow American. And that's when we start seeing things like veterans just being completely disregarded. And I hold on, I really suck at this fucking game, but that's when we see things like veterans being disregarded, the public health system being disregarded. There's so much homelessness right now. Like you only see those things when there's large periods of no war, there's large periods of no violence, so people just sort of stop caring about each other and they just start focusing on other things like gender equality or freaking pay gaps and patriarchies, and that's where we're at now. I'm not saying, I hope there's a war. It's just I'm predicting one. I don't want there to be war. War leads to death, and nobody wants death. But what I'm saying is that when you study human history, it just feels like we're at most, not minimum, most 20 years away from a war, either with Russia, with China, with the Western, the Midwest, like the Islamic nations, Iran, Iraq, Afghanistan. We're just maybe a couple more decades away from war with one of those nations, and it's daunting. It's a very daunting prospect to think about, but at the same time, I would rather be realistic and be prepared than be unrealistic and unprepared. But the old saying is, you'd rather be a warrior in a garden than a gardener in a war. And I want to be that warrior. I don't want to be a gardener, not ready for the war, having, freaking lawn clippers when everybody's rushing at me with swords, AK-47s, and freaking ballistic knives. I'd rather have an AK-47 in a garden and just shoot out some damn roots. You know what I mean? So, yeah, again, kind of an all over the place conversation, kind of an all over the place rant I had there, but just something that was on my mind. Christ, I know there are no current viewers, but this will be there for people to see at a later point. I just had to actually get myself back into how I just had to get myself back into like the groove of streaming because I want to sort of integrate the Dreamers Entertainment YouTube channel. And if you haven't already, please head over to my YouTube channel. Give me a subscribe. Watch all my videos so I can increase my watch time. So I can increase my watch time. And you can get me to 4,000 watch hours easy. And then I can monetize my YouTube channel. I can monetize my how? I can monetize my Twitch, and I can continue to spread my message, and I can continue to form this fucking community, form this community of like-minded people who can think openly and honestly without being, purposefully offensive, purposefully brash, and trying to harm people with words, even though obviously certain things I said could have harmed people, but at the same time, I'm being open and I'm being honest and I'm accepting the fact that I might be wrong about some of this stuff. And even if you would like to at some point, if I ever get big, you would like to clip this up and only put in the parts where I said certain things you didn't like, I already know what the full form was. I will have the full form available on my Twitch, so you can't really catch me slipping anywhere, bro. Listen, I've been on social media watching people for a grip, so you can't catch me lacking like that, G. Um, I got my bases covered. So again, head over to my YouTube. It is Dreamers Entertainment, sort of like my current Twitch chat name, except without the X. Just Dreamers Entertainment on YouTube, youtube.com/dreamers dream big, and it'll go straight to my channel. But the links to my YouTube channel are also on the Twitch, so feel free to check that out. I'm about to sort of wrap this all up. I know it was very, very short. I didn't mean for it to be very, very long. Again, I have the vid. I am sick as fuck. But now that I'm, forced to be in the house home alone, I figured you might as well just at least, do something with yourself. Dig a damn, like, like, I as well do something with yourself. So I set up my Twitch account a little bit better. Added some like a little overlay thing. I didn't do much. Listen, if you have advice for me, please give it to me because I'm not a Twitch streamer. I'm more of a YouTuber than I am a Twitch streamer. And I'm not even good at that. But you know, I'm doing my best here. I'm doing my best here. I set it up a little bit, learned how to jump live, and I just wanted to have a little conversation about that because that has been what's been on my mind, especially since, like at the beginning of this, I said, see, I don't lose track. Andrew Tate visited Piers Morgan, and since they had their conversation about how London was falling, it sort of reminded me of how American culture has been divulging as well. So if you enjoyed this conversation, again, follow me on Twitch. Head over to my YouTube, hit subscribe, hit the bell. Um, do me a favor and watch all of my videos, all of the clips, so that my watch hours can boost up. And if you enjoy, is that a ladybug? It is. Ladybug. Oh, it's dead. Okay. Well, that was a dead ladybug. That's a terrible sign. Probably why I got COVID. Um, no, but yeah, head over to my YouTube channel, subscribe, and give me some views, man. Give me some views. I need that watch. I need those watch hours to go up. I'm at about 2,000 watch hours. I need to by like March or April get like 2,000 more. So I'm gonna need to be either banging out videos in January and February, um, or you guys can go back and watch my old videos. I got Tom McDonald reactions. I got Star-Lord reactions. I got reactions to funny stuff. I got reactions to controversial stuff. And then I also have reactions to some like social commentary stuff just about the regular ways of the world, kind of like the conversation that we had today. I like to keep myself diverse. I like to keep myself open to conversation, to topics. Don't want to box myself in just to like YouTube culture. I want to be able to talk about the world whenever I want to. I want to be able to just have a laugh whenever I want to without having the pressure of like, oh, well, my fans are only going to watch this, which is probably why I don't get as many views as I would like, to be honest, because I just be all over the place. But same time, like, don't want to be boxed in by anything. So I'm gonna keep talking about what I want to talk about until y'all start vibing with it. So vibe with it. Stop being afraid. Stop keeping your mind boxed into one thing, and watch my damn videos. What's wrong with you? Anyways, I'm about to hop off this. I'm about to go eat some pastelillos and have some orange juice probably because I need some more vitamin C. Um, I'll probably hop back on this tomorrow because again, I'm on quarantine right now. I'm getting paid to just sit in the house, so I might as well do something with my time, you know. And hopefully, I'll have at least one viewer tomorrow, somebody to watch and hang out with me. And if not, I'm gonna invite invite my boy Vance to watch and text in the chat just so that I have somebody to talk to because I'm gonna be bored. So. And I might have a little bit more structure tomorrow as well. I won't just be freaking I won't just be playing Free Rider in the background. I don't know if y'all saw me playing because I'm pretty sure I just had the goddamn regular view on this whole time. But at least then you saw me, talking. You saw my face. You saw me interacting. But it is what it is. Oh, Tom McDonald is live. New video drops Friday, 9 a.m. I'm gonna be reacting to that. So whenever Tom drops his video on Friday, I'm gonna be throwing up a reaction on the channel. I'm gonna be doing a little reaction to that, and then I'm probably also gonna do a reaction to his shorts because his shorts were funny as hell. I don't know if y'all have seen his shorts, but you gotta go check out Tom McDonald's shorts. Like he's dressed up as the Grinch, he's dressed up as just like a bunch of stuff, but then he's also just saying some crazy shit. So I'm gonna do a reaction to Tom McDonald's shorts as well as whatever video he drops on Friday, and hopefully I'll have some of my old subscribers sort of flow back into the channel, because my channel used to be heavy Tom McDonald based. I branched away from that when I came back in October, so since then I've been seeing kind of a decrease in views, but at the same time I've been enjoying making videos on the topics that I like a little bit more. Obviously not saying that I don't like talking about Tom McDonald, but I like talking about a lot of things, not just Tom McDonald. But he's gonna be back with another Tom McDonald reaction on Friday because he dropping something new. And you know what? I'm gonna end it there. We'll see if this all worked out, and if it didn't, I just wasted like 30 minutes of my life. But anyways, dreamers, thank you for tuning in, even though there's none of you here. And thank you for just taking the time out of your day to watch. I'll probably broadcast this and just send it over to YouTube so that if anybody sees it, they'll come over to the Twitch. The Twitch is 0x Meisters, or actually I've changed it. I just lied. It's Dreamers Entertainment X. Dreamers Entertainment X is the Twitch, and the YouTube channel is just Dreamers Entertainment. YouTube.com/Dreamers Dream Big. Dreamers out.